Hey everyone, today I'm going to do a video and it's called Blame It on the Carbs. So, if you can't tell with me, I'm probably going to go the opposite way with that. But I want to just explain something with the ketogenic diet and just the way our brains are thinking. This is why I'm just going to keep reiterating this, is that our goal is health. Okay? If you want one word to hold on to, I want it to be health. I don't want it to be keto, and I don't want it to be, carbs, no carbs, no carbs. Because that thinking is not, it's not what you want. It's not bad, but it's not really going to get you where you want to go. The reason being is if you're just thinking keto, you can be in ketosis, but you can eat certain foods, you can get away with certain things, versus being healthy, making healthier decisions for your body, and thinking that carbs are evil. That is not it. If anything, if there's one thing, it's probably sugar. As Americans, we get way too much sugar. And just in general, it's marketable. People want sugar, and so they put it in everything because it tastes better. And then people don't have control. They don't have that normal, I'm done. So if anything, that's where we're having issues. So just for example, I don't need that. So just for example, low carb tortillas. Okay, these are 4 net carbs. Technically, these could be keto or low carb anyways. And then strawberries. Let me ask you, which one is healthier? This has sugar in it. This has no sugar in it. Well, it's probably healthier. Strawberries. Let me ask you this. What tastes better? Probably for most of you, it'd be this. That's why we like carbohydrates. We know this as a society. If you could cook, or you could think about which one you want to eat more, which one are you willing to sacrifice, it's probably the strawberries. People think well, this is safer, I know this, or I want to eat that. But again, if I ask you which healthier, you're going to go with this one. So, what's the difference? Why is this bad? Is this wrong? Not necessarily, but if you think about your body and what it can absorb and do, like this, if you think about it, it's water, oat flour, wheat flour, soy flour, vital wheat, gluten, canola oil, cultured wheat, that a lot of times people think, oh, I'm just eating too many carbs. So here's where this becomes the problem. So they don't drop these because these taste so good and it's still addicting, that they start cutting out the vegetables, or they're going to start cutting this out but leaving this. But the problem with these is that if I have one, I want 2. And if I have 2, I want 3, or it starts a whole cycle. It's really hard to control these. I can eat about 2-3 strawberries and I can make myself stop. I can be done. It tastes good. I have a natural cutoff. With those, I don't. So what happens with the person eating these types of things, the second they see weight or water retention, oh, I'm having too many carbs. And guess what? They drop them out. Or other things. Or they keep those, drop vegetables. But that's probably not your problem. It's part of the problem. But if your body's up in a little bit of fluid, it's just storing a little bit of the sugar in your muscles. It will burn it off in the next couple days. You can't weigh yourself every day. If you watch and you do eat things with a little bit of higher carbohydrate content, you are going to go up in weight a little bit, but it's not a big deal. It's not fat weight. It's just fluid. Your body's storing it in your muscles to burn it. So just make sure you're active and that you're burning that off. But the strawberries, I would way rather add these into my ketogenic lifestyle than I would add something like this. Because this is what's, again, going to get you in the long run, is thinking healthier. I want to be healthy. I want to eat healthy. And it's going to be more about that. So with carbohydrate, a lot of times, this is why this thinking has to stop, with that carbs are evil or demonized. Vegetables are great sources. You can't think about it like sugar, okay? So here's the thing. A lot of people are afraid of eating carbs, and they think the lower carbs I eat, the faster I'm going to lose weight, or the quicker I'm going to be in ketosis, or I got to be in ketosis. But if you're in ketosis and you don't feel good and you're not being healthy, then it does not matter. I try and eat as many carbohydrates as I can. I usually do about 2 cups of vegetables at every meal. Why? Why do I do this? And I'm going to go there, and I'm sorry, but this has to be brought up. If you're not feeling good, and I hear this all the time because people are really consuming a lot of dairy and almost no vegetables because they don't want to gain weight, and they're like, I'm not hungry, because you're constipated. That's why. A lot of times with dairy, if you're adding in dairy, it's going to constipate you. For the most part, there are some people that can pull it through their system very quickly. The majority of you cannot do that, me included. If I start to get a little backed up, I know I've got to cut down on that dairy. But when I'm having the vegetables and I'm keeping lots of good water and fiber, my body can pull that through the system a lot quicker. And same thing with meat. So a lot of you guys are consuming so much fat and meat that you're constipated. You're like, I don't really ever feel hungry, and I'm not hungry anymore. It's because I'm in ketosis. No, you're constipated. That's what's going on. If you're not having a bowel movement on a ketogenic diet once to twice a day, then you're constipated. That's what that is. Because I was wondering, I went through a period of this. This is how I had to figure it out. That's why I had to, for the couple months, I had no trouble with bowel movements, and it's because I cut out dairy entirely. Just cut it out. And I know people are like, oh my God, how can you do that? No, it's not that hard, actually. And I grew up lactose intolerant, so I just don't eat it if I don't need to. And you have to be careful of the dairy and the meats if you're not having the vegetables. And it's not something that you can maintain, and you're going to miss that starchy feeling. And worrying about protein, people get so worried about protein. Don't worry about protein. Your body needs that. I've seen lots of studies and things where they've done the studies on the protein, and it's actually good for our bodies. They've tried to increase protein in people's diets, and they actually just function better, especially for low-carb dieting. Not for low-carb dieting. For dieting, they found that eating higher amounts of protein is their bodies tended to do better against stress and exercise, all these things. So higher protein is not a big deal, and a lot of you are afraid to eat protein. Oh, bad cycles, healthy people, healthy. That you need to be eating enough protein so that your body is building that muscle tissue and keeping you strong and healthy, and then you're filling the gaps with fat. And you're keeping that fiber in your body and helping it metabolize everything properly by giving it fiber. Your body needs that bulk. It needs that. So if you're eating these things, your body tends to do a lot better. And it's lower inflammation. You know where you can get more inflammation is from the sugar, and for some of us, dairy. Some of us, dairy. If you're fine with it, that's great. More power to you. I'm not one of them. Even nuts can spike me. That's if you're thinking of carbohydrates. It's usually not the carbs, it's just the types of foods that your body is not breaking down as well. If I'm not losing weight, I have to start limiting my nut content. I have to start cutting down on the dairy, and then my body does just fine. So you'll figure out these kinds of differences for your body. And if anything, if you're just starting on a keto lifestyle, really the biggest thing that you need to worry about is just cutting down more on those sugars. The sugars are what really will spike and inflame me. I wasn't ready to give up bread, or even from bread to potatoes, is even when I just started cutting out more sugar just in general, and then I started limiting bread. I'd have bread 2-3 times a day because you were supposed to have so much fiber and wheat, that once I started limiting those things and just limiting sugar, I noticed a difference right there in my weight loss, that I just dropped weight just by limiting those things. And so it was a progression, and that's okay too, guys. It's okay to have these once in a while, but I wouldn't make it a normal thing in your diet, because again, we're trying to move towards healthy. And that's not saying that on your birthday or once on the weekends, because we also have to match this idea of oh my gosh, this is going to be in the next video that I'm going to do, but you have to match your healthiness with personal preference. They've got to stay balanced. If one gets too far out of whack, then the whole thing tumbles. So this was just to give you an example about carbohydrates, to not be afraid of carbs, to not be afraid of protein, to stop thinking in your keto box and start thinking healthy in terms in general. What is this made out of? What is this going to do for me in the long run? Could I be making a better decision here? And if you want to know how you get in and out of ketosis, when you pick items like this, this is what threw me out of ketosis. Either these things here would make me retain fluid, or I would binge eat them, or then want to move on to other things because this was enticing those cravings. So I hope that makes sense to you guys. Hope you like this video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe.